into like the full agenda, I just wanted to see if anybody had anything, updates, anything general you wanted to share. I was mentioning to Caleb, I was at OSCON last week. We had a little brief kind of open source and gaming meetup there, which was really great. We had, there was someone from Unity there, and there was a lot of guys from Secret Labs, and then some folks from IBM and some others. So it was a really great conversation, and just kind of trying to, again, get more of the interest around open source and gaming, you know, to the full world. OSCON is kind of one of those that isn't necessarily focused on gaming, but because of where it is in Portland, and because you get a lot of people that are big open source fans, you get a lot of folks there. So it was really interesting, and just some good conversations to start off with. So yeah, that was just kind of a general update. I definitely encourage folks, if it's something you think you'd be interested in and that's relatively easy for you to get to, I would recommend it for next year. Hopefully next year we'll have a little more formalized. We'll have more than just, it was 15 people at the meetup, which was actually really good considering it was kind of like, you know, on Twitter, we talked about it. But hopefully in the future, you know, we'll get more of this general open source gaming community going. I was telling Caleb, there was a guy from Unity there who appeared at the booth, and I was like, hey, you're from Unity, we should talk. And I was like, what do you mean you don't know OpenMatch? You've never heard of Caleb? I don't understand. But there was definitely a lot of interest of people that were like, they weren't aware of OpenMatch or Ogonis. So, you know, I think the more we kind of talk and get out there with more of the folks that are working in open source in general, hopefully we'll get some more contributors and some other interest in it. So it was exciting.
That's perfect. Thanks for the update. Actually, that reminds me, Caleb and I will be talking at the Linux Foundation open source event that's on August. So I guess that will happen before the next meeting. So it's worth calling out folks, like if anybody's interested for that one as well. Also, that will happen in San Diego. I was checking, it's probably fairly close to Sanix's office, so I might take that opportunity to drop in and meet Ish and say hello. So yeah, we should be there in San Diego around 19th August.
Oh, nice.
Nice, yeah. Check out that couch.
Cool. Yeah, anybody else?
Anybody else have anything exciting going on?
I guess from don't want Unity to be completely unrepresented here. I just got back from my honeymoon, which was great. But I came back and the team had done some really interesting kind of soak tests. And while we don't have a big update this week or this meeting, I know that we're diving headfirst into some really technical integration that will happen before the next community meetings. That's when I think we'll really have like a bigger update to provide from our side.
Awesome. And congrats on the marriage and the honeymoon.
Hey, thanks.
Perfect. Awesome. I'll give a quick update on where we are from the Google side, and just so we're all on the same page. So we're working on .6 primarily through the last month, and we have, as you folks know, we've released a preview, and then we are right now in RC1. And the current plan is, unless there is some drastic feedback or something changes, end of next week is when we are shooting to cut the release formally. So now the way the releases for OpenMatch work, master is already unlocked for .7, so it's not like we are blocked on actually cutting the release. So that gives us some chance to like have everybody try it out. So so this week and the rest of next week, folks can get their hands on .6. We'll reflect any feedback in further RC releases. Otherwise, end of next week we'll cut the release. So that's on .6. On .7 front, so as I said, we master is unlocked for .7. Right now, we are kind of just doing some improvements to like the fundamental improvements, like build process improvements and some test changes and some splitting of the configuration. So no feature work, but some things we wanted to get to in .6 and couldn't. That's what's going on right now. Along with that, we are planning for .7. So what I have done is all of the issues that we currently think are on OpenMatch backlog, I have added between, so there is one is like a whole set of issues that are just like bugs or things we want to get to, but specifically the tasks that I think are like major feature work or feature items for OpenMatch. I've created GitHub issues and I've marked them with the tag enhancements, which are essentially like new feature requests or whatnot. As we prioritize them for .7, it would be good if folks can just take some time to go through the list. We wouldn't do that in this meeting, but on your time, just kind of take a glance to them. If you feel strongly about something, just that something should be prioritized, please add to that. There are issues where I've just requested for feedback, like just thoughts and ideas. So not all of them are necessarily like completely or some of them are just like call for proposals and stuff like that. So add your thoughts there, and then we can prioritize them for .7. The plan for .7 that I wanted to share was we're kind of now going to enter into a rhythm of sorts. So .6, we didn't want to like commit to any release cadence because we were trying to get a lot of things changed and rewritten. But from now on, we are thinking we'll settle into a rhythm of like 6-week development cycles and 2 weeks like to kind of basically cut the RC and let things stabilize and have the folks a chance to try it out. That's just a proposal for now. If somebody has any ideas or opinions about it, love to hear that. But that's kind of like if that's the proposal for now, which is like going forward. That way folks know when to expect the next drop. So if you're like, you have some requests or something, we know kind of when we're trying to line that up. So that's the general idea. Any thoughts?
Six weeks works really well for us. I think that that type of cadence is a really nice amount of time for gathering feedback, especially at these early stages. And it being in a cadence kind of creates that nice pressure to kind of make that cut line and start releasing more often. So that sounds great.
Awesome. So that's I think the last thoughts there are like if anybody wants something burning as a part of .7, probably this week or early into next week is a good time because next week the 6-week timer begins. So if it's a few weeks down the line, there's a good chance we have to push it to target. But anyway, that's that on my end. And again, this is just the prioritization and the task and everything is kind of currently still just stuff that we are trying to primarily look at. But I think .7 we also wanted this to be an opportunity for like if folks have bandwidth and want to start contributing, we kind of add tags to things which are like good first issues and whatnot. But we think now that the code base in general, the tests, the CI, and we have all the framework to make development on OpenMatch a lot more seamless and easy. So this would be a good time for folks to kind of start seeing if for nothing, just take a small bug, make a change, and see how the developer workflow is. We would love some feedback on that as well. So that's it from me. Scott, you want to take over? The next thing is for you.
Yeah. We were just gonna show off 0.6 a little bit, I think.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. And for 0.6, we have a little bit of a demo. I don't know if everybody's seen this yet, but it's good for the recording even if people have. So this is just kind of end-to-end, like showing how you would use OpenMatch or start working on integrating with it. And so this is live, running on a real Kubernetes cluster in GKE. And it is, there's kind of two pieces of this. One of them is the clients, which is like players coming in or groups of players or whatever coming in and asking for matches. And then there's the director, which is, triggering OpenMatch to find matches. And then it's giving fake assignments, and those are being passed back to the players. So you can see here, there's fake player 0. They're sitting in the main menu or something, and then now it's waiting for a match using OpenMatch, and then it got matched. So now it is on the server, so it got matched with fake player 2, and it doesn't actually connect to anything, but it's pretending to be in a match, and then it goes back and continues the cycle. And then here you can see the matches being made from the director standpoint. And it kind of goes through things quickly. And the nice thing about this is that there's code that's pretty readable, I think, that goes through like each of the steps. So like here's connecting to OpenMatch front end, here's creating a ticket, and then here's waiting for the clients. There's the just connect to the OpenMatch front end and establish a gRPC connection. Then there's create a ticket. So you have your properties with a name and a demo to catch the index. And then this is the call to the front end to create the ticket. And then it gets back the ID. And then this is the code to send the ID and wait for any updates for assignments. And then when it gets an assignment, it breaks out of the loop and then pretends to play a match with that assignment. And this is where like a real client would actually connect to whatever connection it was given. Oh, this is the client side of the demo. And then on the director side, it connects to the backend, to gRPC. It does the fetch matches. So this contains the information about the match function to connect to, what players to query. So it does mode demo. So it gets all the tickets basically. And then it calls fetch matches. And then once it gets the matches back from OpenMatch, it will loop through them. And for each match, it will assign all the tickets. We send the request to get matches using the match function that we specified. And this is just kind of gets everybody in all of the tickets, and then calls fetch matches. And then for assigning players, it loops through the matches and then gives a unique kind of fake assignment to each of the matches. So I think the code's pretty simple and straightforward. Yeah.
For the demo itself, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And
can you explain where today, like in the setup, where the director is running, and are they real clients or are they just all in the demo?
Yeah. So everything is currently running in a single binary or container pod in the cluster itself. Just as and you can see everything and how it's all set up in the repository. So here are the different components. And if we look at releases, look at the YAML. Oh, that didn't open.
I think it downloads it. Okay.
Just automatically down. So if we look here, like that's just some setup stuff, but then it's running as a normal service and deployment, and then the demo also runs evaluator and the match function, and this just uses a very simple we call it like solo duel, just one-on-one matchmaker. It picks two players, turns into a match. And we can show that too as well, I guess, because we're good on time. We go to examples, actions Golang, solo duel, MF. So here's the last bit of the demo, I guess. It loops through, grabs all of the tickets, and then it has this match. So it adds the players to the match. If there's two players, it creates a match. It's really simple and doesn't really do any good matchmaking, but it does do matchmaking. So
perfect. I think one thing to highlight is the evaluator, MMF, and obviously the clients and the director are more like sample prototypes, but all of the OpenMatch core components are pretty much like none of them are faked out for the demo. They are all running and they are all the real components. So,
Yep.
so the demo is a good place for us to try. If you want to modify and run your own MMF, this is a good starting point as well.
Mm-hmm.
Are there instructions for running this demo?
Yes. If you go to openmatch.dev and then go to documentation. So you have to go through installation first of set up OpenMatch either on GKE or a different Kubernetes cluster. And then you have to follow the install OpenMatch instructions. And then on getting started, first match goes through just the flow of the demo, the concepts, and then there's install instructions, and then links to the pieces of source code.
I'll add one note there. I think Ish ran into this, is like to the bit that I mentioned, if you want to actually modify the MMF and try doing things, you're probably better off looking at instructions on the GitHub page, because these will give you the instructions like to pull the YAML from the cloud and run it. But if you really want to kind of change things and try it out, then you kind of use the developer flow as opposed to this flow is meant for like you don't have the OpenMatch bits and you just want to try the demo.
I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, would just would you say that anyone who wants to kind of get started developing and integrating with OpenMatch should go to the GitHub unless they specifically want to run demo, because .6, right, would go here to familiarize themselves with the project?
Yes, I think the website is a good place to kind of get started, see things running and whatnot. But if you get to a point of like, I want to change blah, and then the GitHub instructions might be easier, because that's where you kind of have steps like Makefile makes it easier to update images, push your images, and like rebuild the cluster using those images and stuff like that. So you wouldn't find the instructions for that here, but yeah, but the GitHub page has instructions.
I think eventually we want to get to a point where those instructions are here.
Sure.
But they just don't exist yet.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Pull requests are open and welcome.
super cool demo, guys.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah, this was it. I think next up is Ish.
Yeah. Did you have anything you wanted me specifically to talk about? Otherwise, I'll just sort of hold up. I'm muted. Okay, I'm not muted. Sorry. Yeah, is there anything specific you want me to talk about? Otherwise, I'll just kind of give you a general overview of like kind of how far I've gotten with everything.
Go for it.
Muted? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No answer. Okay, I guess I'll just start at the beginning then. So I started kind of prodding with OpenMatch back in August last year, around that time. So when .4 came out, I kind of made like a quasi prototype to see how well it'll fit in like with our current architecture and sort of an exploration into whether or not we can use it in production, sort of moving forward to replace our old system. But so from my perspective, like getting into .6, I started maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that. But I was mainly like sort of migrating from .4 to .6, so I didn't quite. Your mileage may vary in terms of like getting started from like square one, like just at the very beginning. But so basically, I used the main website and the instructions there that have like all the demo instructions, and it's super smooth. Just follow it step by step, and everything pretty much worked exactly how you thought it was going to, which has been awesome. So great work, guys! You're doing awesome stuff. The one thing that gets a little hairy, or like where I started to have to do actual thinking and work instead of just copy pasting commands, is getting like matchmaking functions up and running. Since I was using the website, I basically just kind of like looked through the demo YAML and just kind of pulled that apart for my specific matchmaking functions, specific to what I'm trying to do. But I'm hoping to have that running in like a day or two. I was actually hoping to have it done today and maybe have like a demo where I could actually show something, but I just didn't quite get there. Trying to think. So our architecture uses a director similar to the way the demo works, where all of our clients and all of our servers actually go through the director. So nothing connects to the backend or front end API like directly. Everything goes through the director, just because our backend that's connecting to clients and servers is already like a singular spot. So we just pass that from directly into the director and then into the system. So it's slightly different than I think the architecture normally works, or kind of how it's set up. But it works pretty awesomely out of the box. So well done. Like I said, I'm mostly kind of in an exploratory prototyping land, just seeing like, if it'll work in our system. But yeah, did you have anything specific you want? Just kind of like a general overview. Sorry, it's like super vague and stuff. Is there anything specifically you wanted to talk about? Echo.
Can you hear us now properly?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's a good overview. That's kind of thanks for trying it out, and yeah, keep the feedback coming. It's been useful so far, the interaction and the feedback we are getting from you, and yeah, just let us know how things go going forward as well. And yeah, for .7, just keep an eye on the .7 enhancements that I mentioned, and if there is anything specific that pops out from your experience of using things so far, then would appreciate if you can just add that as GitHub issues and ping us about that as well. So yeah, thanks for trying it out.
Yeah. I will actually migrate to .7. It depends on how many breaking changes there are. If I can just drop it in and it works, I probably will. But otherwise, I might skip a release again and wait for 1.0.
That's totally fair. Yeah, I think that's kind of up to you. If there are things that you rely on .7, then you should. Otherwise, .6 is like, from a stability standpoint, .6 is good for MVP. A lot of things in .7 are kind of targeted. We see them being targeted to scale and stuff like that, which if you're just trying to get an MVP out, you may not want to take that effort again. So like, yeah, it might be a strategy to wait another release. But that said, if you have any feedback or anything that you still want reflected in .7, then this would be a great opportunity. But
yeah, I think I've complained to you enough in PMs.
Perfect. Awesome.
Really. It's been like one thing.
Anything else? April, the OpenMatch laptop stickers, is there any way we can get some more so that we can take them to San Diego with us next time?
This is the real reason that I'm in this meeting, by the way.
I know. We will have tons of stickers. I actually have a bag of a bunch of OpenMatch stickers that I just cart around with me everywhere. And so we'll have those. And then I actually so one of the great things about procrastination is that it forces you to find new vendors. So for OSCON, because we waited till the very last minute to order stickers, there's a great sticker vendor in Portland called Sticker Ninja. And they do some amazing like holographic stickers. So I think like the OpenMatch logo would look kind of cool holographic. And I had the designer create a stacked version. So it's not all like 10 feet long. So there's a stacked version. So I was going to have Sticker Ninja do some fun stuff with that, just because I think it's really cool. And I think especially for anything with game development, if you can make it holographic, it's just appropriate. So yes, we will have stuff, and then I have a bunch of t-shirts. I'll make sure we have t-shirts there. And then I can get some shipped out to y'all at Unity if you want to tell me, Caleb, like roughly what sizes you want. But you can just, have on hand for swag in general.
Sure.
And yeah, any other fun swag ideas anybody thinks of, let me know. But yeah, we got plenty of t-shirts and stickers, and we have a vendor who's also looking at putting some new stuff up together for us too. So
perfect. Your laptop is like a showcase of stickers right now.
Mine? Yeah, it's a little crazy. But and I don't even have an OpenMatch one yet. Ooh, how embarrassing for me. Awkward. Yeah, it's a little insane, but I am.
Anyways, yeah.
Yeah, and then we can come up with, you know, other fun stuff as well. Form a secondary heat sink, yeah. And then I will also put a link in the working doc to the Open Source and Gaming Day registration if you are interested to attend. It's $25 now. We got them to lower the price. So it's $25. It's a half day, even though they call it a day. But it'll be a good event. And I will check if, I don't think it's going to be recorded, but this did come up at OSCON in the conversations. I'll see if they can swing that somehow, but I don't think it is by default. Worst case, I'll just like live stream from my phone like I did at OSCON. So we'll make it happen.
Okay. And the recording for this meeting, is that something that goes on the website or?
It goes on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
We can add it to the website. I was kind of waiting till Jeremy had all the core stuff down before I went and started adding in a bunch of new pages. But we also now have the Open Match community repo in the Google for Games. And so we can start putting you know, meeting notes and links to the recordings there. So I will work on that, and I'll try to do some editing today to make Scott's demo look a little more seamless. Thanks to all of our microphone issues. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah, that's anybody else? Anything? Cool.
Yeah, I think that's it. Everybody's adjusting back to, well, for me, it's conference world. Caleb is honeymoon world. I don't know if anybody else has been traveling, but it is summer, so.
No, we are enjoying the Seattle sunshine while it lasts.
I was gonna say, you know, it's kind of rare to have that.
Yep.
That exists.
Right now, like for this small window of time that we are talking about, yes.
Wow.
Awesome. All right. Well, hopefully we'll see some folks. Well, I know I'll see some of you for sure in San Diego, and hopefully we'll see more. And then otherwise, we'll see the rest of you virtually next month.
Thank you so much. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I said, when was that?
San Diego is August 21st. That whole week is Open Source Summit North America. And then our event is, I think it's the Tuesday before or maybe it's the Monday before the conference. I have to pull up my calendar. Linux Foundation has kind of a standard of Monday before the conference is when they do like the co-located events.
I think
so.
Tuesday for this one.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't remember because it's not quite as packed as KubeCons are.
The one confusion we had at our end, April, was the website kind of mentioned that you need to be in attendance of the entire conference to attend the game day. Is that true, or was that just confused messaging?
That was the case originally, but we got them to change it. Just because, I mean, I think Open Source Summit is a great conference if you're more interested in the nuts and bolts of open source, not so much the tech, whereas OSCON focuses a little bit on both, but does tend to skew more towards like the tech and different projects. So there wasn't necessarily a ton of overlap in terms of audience. It's a lot to ask someone to commit to a full conference pass if you're really only interested in the co-located event. So they did recently change that. So if folks are interested in registering and you're getting some sort of error message or something like that, just ping me and I can connect with the Linux Foundation and get that fixed. So, but it should be open to everyone, whether you're attending the full event or not.
Perfect. Thank you.
Cool. All right. Well, thanks everyone. And we will see you all sometime next month.
Perfect.
Bye.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.